harder to think quite as crisply.
Okay.
And he does say okay. Now Yamamoto's got to size up a potential attack. Brings all three.
Says I'm going to go to 1.
And
Yep, does indeed willing to go to 1. There's the purge. Yamamoto disappointed.
wow.
Goes to 1, and he will be further disappointed to see this pithing needle come down and turn off his windbrisk kites.
Or another bird meat dragon. Oh, both. Yep, Muldrifter.
Muldrifter. Still wants to pithing needle heights.
Yep.
Yes. Pithing needle's the heights, and he's got broken ambitions where he can sink for 5. So sure looks like Nasif's got this one. Yamamoto can chump block for 1 turn. Gabriel Nasif trying to go up 2-1, trying to earn a spot in the finals against the hottest player in the game, Luis Scott Vargas. Yamamoto down to his last point of life, and there's 8 power worth of flyers across the table from him. Yeah, he needs all 3 flyers to chump block.
Gets in for 2.
Yeah, Muldrifter's going to block one of those. Nasif will fall to 10.
At 10.
We need to find out what Yamamoto drew, which we know is going to get countered. Oh, it's Banefire. Banefire for 5. In fact, not going to get countered. Interesting. What does that do to the race? It's like the one out in the format. All right, Nasif's applying pressure. Yamamoto's obliged to block. It still seems like Nasif is fine.
Well, he's got more than 1 Banefire in his deck. He doesn't have any cards in hand, though.
Right. So, yeah, double block 1 to kill it, block the other. Now Nasif is threatening lethal. He's got broken ambitions in his hand. This has to be miraculous. No. Gabriel Nasif wins game 3. He's now up 2-1. Just needs to win 1 more game to secure that spot in the finals, and the dream final that everyone was rooting for when they saw this bracket put together. Luis Scott Vargas versus Gabriel Nasif. That may be the match we'll be watching for the finals. Or the rookie, Akimasa Yamamoto, the local Japanese player. Can he rattle off 2 straight against one of the all-time greats?
And can either of these players win the match before Luis Scott Vargas completes his side draft?
You think LSV is drafting somewhere?
I'm certain of it.
He might have entered that legacy side of it. I mean, he's got the legacy deck in his backpack. He probably gave it to somebody else. His Type 1 deck won the Type 1 tournament yesterday in Jerry Thompson's hands.
Earned an Ancestral Recall.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I'm on drafting too.
Both players reach for their sideboards. Think about cards that we saw when we were listening to Brian Robinson and Luis Scott Vargas after the match. A lot of the sideboarding was play-draw dependent.
It's true. That's a good point.
Monster tries to right his ship here.
I thought the Twitter thing we did this weekend was kind of fun.
That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. I really thought about it as something that if I was at home, that's something I would be checking constantly. I like to know, and I loved to have the opportunity to just sort of say, hey, this is what Olivier Rouel's doing this round. He's sort of, not in the feature match area,
right.
Just be able to check in on people. This is what, hey, look, Martin Juzes again got a top 16. To me, the opportunity to promote those little stories was was a lot of fun, and some stuff that gets lost because, you're talking about...
Yeah, it's hard to find room in the coverage.
Top-line stuff.
You've got the blog, so, you got this whole thing. You've got to keep the picture and a couple of paragraphs, and there's sort of a limit to the number of stories that you can cover. But often there's just little random anecdotes, like little, one sentence. Oh, my God, did you see this thing that happened? And it's just a sentence, and there's really no spot for that in the coverage. But
it was also, I thought, a lot of fun down the stretch. As we're trying to sort the top 8 out.
I was, live blogging the last round from the feature match area.
Yeah, sort of walking the top tables and seeing who's doing well and who's going to get that 8th spot.
Yeah.
And, there were 6 or 7 matches that, were scrumming around for 2 or 3 spots.
Right. Yeah, I've heard some people do that even at PTQs, right?
Sure.
When your friends playing a tournament, you can't go, but check out on your phone.
Dave Estells, who's actually been following our Twitter throughout the weekend when he was at Worlds, it was the first time I actually saw someone using Twitter at a Magic event. He was Twittering from Worlds.
Okay. Makes sense.
He's like, hey, I did this side event and saw this cool person, and wow, there's this neat original art here. It was really nice.
Next best thing to be in there?
Yes. Well, when you're home, you just want information. You just want to know what's going on. I just want updates.
Right.
Akimasa just wants a win here. He wants to keep playing Magic. We heard Cedric say that as he's like, I just want one more game. One more game of Magic.
Cedric had sort of the double bad beat. Not only does he get rolled in the quarterfinals, but this means he can make his flight home.
Yeah.
He has to go to school tomorrow.
He was really hoping to miss it.
He was. Figured out, it's like a 5 p.m. flight or something. The lunch break was the time to change the flight. Depending on the quarterfinal result. So, yeah, makes it back in time for class tomorrow.
Guys, look at their opening hands.
Nasif up 2 games to 1. Best 3 out of 5 matchup, so just has to win one of the next 2. Is Yamamoto contemplating a mulligan? Where's that hand?
See a lot of lands.
Revelark, Siege Gang, and 4 lands, and what's the white spell?
Probably a Path to Exile, maybe a Knight of the White Orchid.
That hand doesn't do much. That hand goes land, 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 land. First threat, ship it.
Yeah.
And I don't care if it's a mix of land and spells.
It's not a hand you can win with.
You can't. You're not going to win with that hand.
Yeah. By the time you're doing stuff and the Siege counters are online, his lands have untapped.
Exactly. He's already drawn 2.
He'd really like a turn 3 of Johnny Vengeance, which is what we saw him start off on game 2 with.
Right.
And that's what won him game 1.
Six cards for Yamamoto.
Getting a look at Nasif's hand. See a couple of counters. Mulder,
Yamamoto keeps. Nasif keeps. Is that turn 1 Flamekin Harbinger? Does he use it?
No.
Declines.
No, he's not using it. He's just
no Revelark.
He's going to start
beat
beating.
Down. Rawr.
No.
Attack you. Take that. It's almost like a double mulligan. Harbinger, decline.
Yeah.
It's like it's barely a card.
An untapped land on turn 2.
Sure.
And Nasif is set up to sink for 1. All right. Yeah. To earn 3, Johnny would not resolve. It's like Banefire Land and Ranger of Eos for Yamamoto. He declines the Ranger of Eos.
It's hoping that Nasif will tap out.
Yeah, not interested.
Muldrifter, or
not interested in walking into Broken Ambitions.
Or just do it next turn with a tap land. Yep.
Go.
Right. Yeah, Yamamoto can play a land, and now he can Ranger with the ability to pay.
Remove soul.
Oh, remove soul.
A miser's remove soul.
The one of.
I feel like Nasif should point that out to people as he casts the one out. It's just like, by the way, I only have one of those, and I did not have it last turn.
So what is going on? We got LSV saying I'm finally winning because I'm playing good cards, and like 4-0, 4-0, 4-0, 4-0, 4-0. We got Nasif, like the wily veteran. He's like he's moved beyond that.
Yeah, he's found the perfect balance.
Yamamoto drawing a card off Mind Stone. Really not the way Yamamoto drew up this game 4.
Yeah, this is not
Flamekin Harbinger beatdown, not likely to get the job done.
I mean,
yeah, to be fair, this is a Guillaume Wafo-Tapa list.
yeah.
Like, it's Wafo-Tapa that really put the heart of this together, and I think Nasif and his
60
crowd
of
in
these
Michigan.
cards. 60 of these cards are Wafo-Tapas.
And then one
of
Gabe.
them. One of them is
I
Gabe.
suspect there's more than one choice that was altered. Yeah, Gabe and Manuel Boucher and Mark Herberholtz in that crowd did a lot of testing. Sounded like testing with the Michigan crew and emailing with the French crew, the Ruels and Guillaume Wafo-Tapa.
Go.
At some point, he draws enough land, gets in for 10 with that Harbinger.
Yeah, 14 to 19.
You draw 11 land, and that would be the most unlikely game win I've ever seen. Deal 10 with a Flamekin Harbinger and Banefire you?
Yeah, Banefire for 6 is online, right?
Do you think Nasif has a dragon at some point here? Probably this point.
Quill Ultimatum will get the job done, too.
Yes, that would
cards.
effectively counter Banefire here. Kill your Flamekin Harbinger.
It's rough. Yamamoto wants to play around Esper Charm and Cruel Ultimatum, but he also wants a bunch of land in play so they can Banefire for a higher X. I think he's right. He has to just play out the land and hope it works out. There's a dragon. Broodmate Dragon for Gabriel Nasif. A pair of 4/4s. Now what? Flamekin Harbinger beatdown plan has been halted.
Okay.
Forge Tender. He is near the point where he could just fire up Banefire, knock the top of his deck, hope to draw the next one. Right, 2 Banefires for 7 would actually get the job done.
Maybe he should have done that
This turn. He should have gone land Banefire for 7.
I guess he's got a couple of
6.
turns to do it, but if he gets if he gets Cruel Ultimatum, it wasn't going to work anyway.
That's true. And here's his window to do spells that are counterable. So he's probably right here.
Okay.
Yeah, that was his window to cast things that can, in theory, be countered. I believe his hand at this point is land and Banefire. Here come the Flyers. Yeah, falls to 11. Okay, so these are the next 2 turns. Banefire. Yamamoto needs to go Banefire, Banefire, or else Nasif's playing for the Pro Tour title. Yeah, there's Infest. Doesn't change the plan. Banefire, Banefire. That's what he needs to do.
Is he thinking about Banefiring?
I don't know. What is he thinking
A dragon?
about? Like, you clear... You're not going to win the game by Banefiring a dragon. Elspeth. What does that do?
Cards. 2.
Does that even buy him a turn?
So
I don't
it's
think so.
loyalty 4 +1. Put a guy in play plus.
Makes a 1/1. You can make it fly next turn.
What does that do?
Okay.
I'm not sure I see
I
it.
don't think Elspeth does anything here. I mean, yeah, he can Banefire a dragon, but it's not like he can race the other one. Yeah.
It's going to feel pretty bad if he draws a Banefire next turn.
Yeah.
Don't understand.
I think it only flies until end of turn, so I know it doesn't buy him a turn.
Here.
Yeah, Nasif crunches for 8. Yamamoto down to 3. I don't know what Yamamoto can draw here. I mean, if he draws a removal spell, he can kill both halves of the dragon. Right, he can Banefire one half, remove the other, except he's going to run into permission.
14. 14. Okay, go. Roll.
So you can get in for 4. It doesn't have enough to Banefire for 10.
He's trying to figure out what goes wrong here. Nasif is definitely doing Banefire math right now. That is...
4. Okay.
It's like,
Yeah,
okay,
I'm gonna
if you have a
check on
land,
that.
you can Banefire me for 8. I'm at 10. That seems safe. Ranger of
Oh,
Eels.
go get you. Oh, go get you. Burnt Forge Tenders. Fog, untap, kill you.
Oh, that actually does work, doesn't it? So Nasif needs to counter this,
And he
which
does.
he does.
Counter.
Bounce a land. Bounce Elspeth.
Bounce the token.
Draw cards.
Draw a card.
I don't think it matters. It's fairly academic.
Yep. Ranger into Burnt and Forge Tinder would actually have worked the game there. Show you the Banefire. Banefire me. There you go. Yamamoto cannot come up with the
Let's see
second
the next card
Banefire
on
that
top
he
of his
needs.
deck.
Well, it didn't matter. It was the Ranger Bios.
Oh,
It
it was
wouldn't
Ranger.
work.
Oh, it was a Ranger.
Right. He would have gone
Okay, do the Ranger
Banefire
action.
into
Yep,
Ranger
yep.
Bios, which would have worked the same way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, Gabriel Nasif is through to the finals. Nasif wins 3 games to 1. His 5-color controlled deck has to grind out the long, painful victory, but that's how it works against Boat Brew. That's how this deck works. Long, complicated games, but the late game favors the 5-color control, and Gabe is going to be playing for the finals. When this bracket came out last night, a lot of people looked at it. 2 giant stories at this Pro Tour. 2 giant stories. Gabriel Nasif with top 8, number 9, tying Kai Buddha for second place. Clearly one of the pantheon of the big 3, the 3 greatest players to ever play this game. Nasif is through to this top 8, definitely one of the big stories. But then you've got Luis Scott Vargas rattling off an absolutely unprecedented 18 match wins in a row. He leads this tournament wire to wire through to the finals, trying to win his second Pro Tour in the last 6 months and continue a hot streak rivaled only by Kai.
Kai, yeah.
I'm not even sure John ever put together a 6-month streak
Both,
like LSV has had.
both of
last
these
6
players
months.
are chasing Kai.
Yeah, they really are. They absolutely are. And the bracket came out. There they are on opposite sides of the bracket. So if things go right, and they have, we all win. We get to watch Gabe and LSV. I think this championship match is going to be remembered forever. This is exactly what everyone was rooting
are
for.
we in
We're
Chicago
going to
or
be
something?
talking about this. I remember when Finkel played Maher for the World Championship, when they were both at the height of their power, and Finkel wins Worlds, but Maher wins Player of the Year. You know, I remember when John and Kai played in Chicago. You know, this is one of those matches. Absolutely match for the ages. You know, the best player in the game right now versus one of the best players of all time. It's going to be fun. Going to be fun. The players are going to take, 5-10 minutes, stretch their legs, start to shuffle up. We got about 10 minutes away. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere because the Pro Tour Kyoto Championship match for the ages is coming right up.